This is Adam Benstock on this sort of very iffy weather here outside. It's started raining this morning. We got the storm Milton in the United States, causing all devastation. I remember about 2 years ago, I wrote these storm jigs talking about Dudley, Eunice, and Franklin. I remember all these named storms. And what I'm going to um, talk about today is metronomes and playing in time, or trying to play in time. As the famous joke, I'll tell you a joke first of all. It's what's the difference between a comedian and a musician? A comedian always gets the timing right, so to work that one out. Now I'm going to take the Franklin jig. I've always had trouble keeping this in time because it's a triplet. It's 6/8. As I can see, I'll show you the music here. I mean, I actually wrote this, but not being a good composer, I can't play it, or expect anybody else to play it that's not up to standard like me. The thing is, a skillful composer should be able to play things people be able to play, but that's not always the case because even the famous composers play impossible stuff as well. You look at in back a history of music, really good storm music. You can think of a few classical music that really evoke storm scenes. I mean, the most famous one is the Pastoral Symphony in Beethoven. Then you got Haydn's Creation, and then of course Giuseppe Verdi wrote very good storm music for his operas. Some of his operas, Attila the Hun, and all types of things, and Rigoletto as well. The horrible scene happened there during a storm. It always creates dramatic effect, and of course the other famous one is the Benjamin Britten, Peter Grimes, the storm music there, which is a very, very clever, descriptive music. But the melodies, all's there, the carried, but it's got to be rhythmic. That's the thing. Even though it's storm, it's more important that it's in time. Right, now, I'm going to do an experiment here. So this storm jig, what speed am I going to play that? And then I listen to my heart, and just sort of calm down. Think, try to emulate how so obviously your heartbeat's going to vary how anxious you are. So I'm in front of a camera now, because when I was away from the camera I measured it at 116, but I can do it now. Dun 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 dun, and then you try and put it on the metronome. Does that synchronise with that? Because if you're playing in exactly the same time as your heartbeat down, theoretically, you shouldn't have any anxiety about playing the piece, because it's naturally going with the rhythm of your heart. Because it's something that can't be taught. So with this piece, which I can't play, because it goes out and tone when I'm doing the cross strings. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So you notice how much out of time that was? So the part B was more in time, because you got, I mean, the way I've bowed that, I've done. I actually fling it out of time there to get that string crossing. It's almost sort of hangs loose, doesn't it? I don't. But if it's doing separate bows, I can't do it. Do a fourth finger. And somehow I hesitate and go over when I'm doing the normal type of bowing. I'll turn that off a minute. Now what I'm trying to explain to you, I mean I'm going to be practicing that till I'm blue in my face and still not get it. It's you know, if you're playing tunes in a session, the more you try to do it, the more you're not going to do it. And I think that probably applies to other genres of music as well. If you're in an orchestra, you will somehow, it might not be 100% accurate everybody, but there'll be a common denominator of the conductor and the visual. And I think, you know, with classical music, as opposed to more oral or playing by ear, other types of music, you know, such as folk, the main difference is the visual reference. And I think classical musicians are used to visual reference, and when they come to play by ear in sessions, it throws them. They cannot equate. So this is how it separates the two types of musicians. So if anyone agrees what I'm talking about here, and it probably proves a case in point. I mean, you could fluff it, you could cheat it, and somehow catch up with the time in another bar, or put the stress on another note, or put you know, there's various ways to do it. But as long as that beat comes within the first of the triplets, the other notes don't actually have to be even. And I think, as a classical trained musician, I'm trying to play those notes even, and when they're slower in the first two of the three notes, and then separate on the other, it's this is the bow. I mean, you can play it slowly, but when you're playing at speed, you have not got time to do all this press down and here. So alter the bowing there. I can either do it on. I mean, practice it slowly, gradually, speed it up. I think this is probably the only answer to get the notes even. But even when you do play it at speed, they won't come out even, because you'll get if you're not doing the fourth finger, you're crossing three strings there. You've got the combined sound of those three notes. So, to put it a finer point, it's poetic license. Because if you're playing it in an orchestra, that's probably how the end product sound would come out, as long as that conductor's on that beat. Because, you know, when you're tonguing, probably in the woodwind or singing it, you probably could get the individual notes more. But on the violin with the slurs and things, string section, you know, people may disagree with me, but the whole string section of an orchestra, there's that slight what's a degree of tolerance of inaccuracy. I mean, people would totally disagree with me on that, but they say the note because they tried so hard to make it so accurate. But the end product of what and even the best orchestras in the world, I can hear it that are these strings actually dead on together, you know, with these very metrotonic rhythmic passages. Anyway, I'll leave you with that, and look forward to any comments on this video.